This is a toy spot on the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series, Spider-Charged Vulture. Really, Vulture was, I think as far as I know, the last figure really released for Spectacular Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I think there was rumblings that there was going to be a Mysterio figure. I could swear I remember seeing pictures of a Mysterio figure on a toy convention, on an online toy site. I don't remember the site, what it was. If anybody remembers this, anybody, do please let me know. Maybe send me the link. I would have loved to have picked up a Mysterio. Unfortunately, I'm sure by the time you guys are watching this video, everybody knows Spectacular Spider-Man canceled. Why? I don't know. A great cartoon. Had so much potential going for it. And they canceled it. It's baffling. Of course, you know this means in a year's time, they're going to release another Spider-Man cartoon. All new toys. But in the meantime, we're looking at one of the last villains released. We're looking at Vulture, a very rare figure. So much so that, much like all the other Spectacular Spider-Man figures that have come out, this guy has not been able to find them at all. And luckily for me, once again, if you watch my other Spectacular Spider-Man reviews, you know there is the friend of mine who always seems to manage to find these things, and luckily for me he found this Vulture. So he picked it up for me, and once again, thank you, sir. You know who you are. Thank you for picking up the Vulture here for me. I also want to point out also the price tag here. If I can zoom in. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Sale price. Follow my finger. Sale price. Regularly $25.99, it on sale for $19. Mind you, of course, the place where this was picked up, oh, there's Vulture, the place where he was picked up, notorious for very expensive toys. So, luckily I didn't have to owe my friend $25, I only gave him $20. So again, thank you very much for picking up Vulture here, the very rare Vulture. A couple people were asking when I was going to review this guy. On the back of this package, we've got, well, this is also American packaging also. No French, and the fact that they have the character featured on the back instead of just a generic card. Nice, pleasant treat. Perhaps maybe that's why the price is what it is. I don't know. I certainly know I've never seen this in a Canadian retail store. The read-up on Vulture says, soaring through the sky in his new Spider-Charged stealth armor, the Vulture is almost totally silent and nearly invisible in the night sky. As he flies, he prepares to dive and deliver a destructive blow to the Spectacular Spider-Man. Figure features pop-out wings. Other figures in this wave, black costume Spider-Man with water blasting attack. Here we go. Electro, lightning blast attack. Really wish they could have fixed that Electro and given us a regular Electro without this hand. We've got Spider-Man, web sticks to walls. Of course it does, it always does. And finally we've got Spider-Man with launching webs. Visit us on the web, Hasbro.com. Good folks at Hasbro. That's packaging though. In a nutshell, that would be packaging. What we'll do is we'll open up this very expensive, very rare Vulture, and we will have a better look at the figure. Stay tuned. And of course, one of the changes made to the Vulture from the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon is the fact that they, instead of giving him the classic green outfit, I think most people remember Vulture as having, what they ended up giving him was the black and red costume, which I actually liked. And I think the reason why they went with that, remember at some point reading somewhere that they thought there was too many villains that had green. So they wanted to mix it up and give Vulture something different. But again, I like the costume. Nice black, gray, nice red. A very good combination of 3 colors. Turn around here for you. Nice detail on the wings as well. From what I can tell, I looked at this figure briefly before I started shooting this again. It doesn't look to me like there is a gimmick relying in this figure. As far as I can tell, there is a notch on the bottom wing, and at the top of the wing there is a square peg. And really, you're supposed to peg the 2 wings together so that you can either have one solid wing, or, wait for it, you can also have him extend with a bigger wing span. I think really I'd prefer to have the 2 wings clipped together than have them separate. It just seems a little more correct to the cartoon. But that's his gimmick, and I'm thankful that they didn't do anything like flapping wings, or you twist his waist and he flaps, or crazy stuff that these people at Mattel and Hasbro like to do with their toys. Really small in size too. This figure is quite small. You kind of have to spread the wings too when you stand him, because if not, his wings actually are longer than the figure itself. Nice close-up look on his head. Voiced quite well by Robert Englund. Which is actually funny because I don't know when I'm going to put this video online, but I actually just finished doing a review of the Fred Krueger figure from NECA, just to go off track here and talk about a different genre here. But it is funny that I just did Fred Krueger, now I'm doing Vulture, and same actor. You see how things work? The coincidences of the universe? I'm not crazy, don't worry. In the way of his articulation, he has a ball-jointed head. I'm trying not to touch his nose. It looks like I'm picking his nose, but he has a ball-jointed shoulder. Now, the only problem with the ball-jointed shoulder is you've got a shoulder pad here, and you've got a wing here that likes to brush up against the back of the figure. Because of that reason, you can move the arms, but moving the entire arm a little harder to do. He also has the rotation in the bicep, and he has a bend at the elbow, which this is where you have to detach the wing from the looks of it, because one top of the wing is with the bicep, bottom wing, forearm. So you have to detach it to move his arm. He has a ball joint in his waist, which unfortunately is a bit loose. It is a bit loose, but he has a ball jointed leg. You can also rotate the leg. You can bend the knee. No articulation in the feet, but you really wouldn't necessarily need articulation in the feet. Really, he is one of the most articulated villains, certainly from the Spectacular Spider-Man line. Right up there, of course, with I think Shocker, probably next in line for articulation. Rhino was pretty good too. I'm really glad I found this guy, or I'm actually really glad my friend found this guy, because really, he is the missing piece to finishing off the Spectacular Spider-Man line. That is to say, unless they release more figures, which, cross my fingers, I'm sure it's not going to happen though. But this Vulture is decent. I love the coloring on him. No real gimmick. I also love that point. For that reason, I'm going to give Vulture here a 7. A great figure. Shame he's a little loose in the waist, but a figure to pick up nonetheless. That is to say, of course, if you can find him anywhere. But that was a toy spot. Today we were looking at the Menace, the Master of the Skies. We were looking today at Vulture. Great figure. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for many more toy spots to come. What's he going to do? And I'll see you guys next time.